Jeez. Thought I did that. Yikes. All right, we're good. All right, Jess, you watch the door. Jay, you go ahead. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Like, what day is it? It's Monday. Welcome to your Experts University Monday morning huddle. We are, let me make sure here. All right, we're doing things a little bit differently this morning. Jay is driving this morning. Jessica Story is driving this morning. So we're gonna do little things a little bit different this morning. But go ahead, Jay. We first want to start off, obviously, by saying good morning. One thing, we always hit the ground running so quickly on Monday mornings. Good morning. Want to make sure we say good morning to everyone that's coming in the room. We see everyone coming in. Good morning. Hope that you guys had a productive weekend. Go ahead, Jay. Next slide. Want to make sure that everyone had a productive weekend. Hope that everyone has taken the time to get themselves settled and together, right? Don't feel rushed, and really just preparing yourself for a productive week, right? During this time, we know that this call is powered by Motto Mortgage Xperts, right? Our mortgage team. During this time, again, this is time for you to tap in. I always tell you guys to grab your notebooks, grab a pen and piece of paper so that you can be sure to, one second. All right, go ahead, next slide, Jay. They know who I am. Go ahead, Jay, next slide. Everyone is in there. Go ahead. So, oh my God, my phone is ringing off the hook. Turn your phones off. Tap in. My phone is ringing off. You guys probably hear my phone vibrating. Turn your phones off. Block out this time. And again, take notes. We come together every morning, every Monday morning, just for a quick bit of information to power you guys for the week. Go ahead, Jay. So again, content, there's this, if you guys are listening, there's this whole talk about content versus context, right? And so we have, I always want to remind you guys that at the end of the day, the outcome, the goal of each call is to make sure that you have a mindset shift so that you can go after new money based and then provide you with a market update. Again, at the end of the day, we're all CEOs of our very own real estate business. And for us, how we measure success, there are many measures of success, right? But one of the measures of success is financial. And so we want to make sure that our businesses are financially successful. We want to make sure that we stay abreast of what's going on in the market. Go ahead, Jay. So mindset shift this week. And this is important because I kind of had this conversation with my team last week, and I wanted to bring it to the Experts University community. Go ahead, Jay. The idea was there was this conversation about sharing ideas and how you might have an idea to do something, and competition, and did someone copy you? You're like, oh, that was my idea to do this type of workshop, okay? Or that was my idea to market in that community. Or how about an idea that you executed on that was successful in your business before, and it may not necessarily be as successful as it was just because of market conditions, but the concept is there is more there. I told the team there is more there. And so when you think about the idea of there is more there, and so one of the team members talked about, having an idea that they shared with someone, and that person was quicker to take it to, the senior management team, and they kind of got the credit for it, right? But my thought process was, if you came up with the first idea, you could come up with the next one. There's more there, right? And so we want to make sure that we don't operate from a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mentality. Right now in the market, we're talking about low inventory. We're talking about a challenge with getting buyers qualified. We're talking about, they're not being, even if you specialize or you promote a lot of down payment assistance to help your transactions get to the closing table. We're talking about how there's less of that, where we want to have an abundance mentality, right? There's more there. What did you do well that worked for you before? There's more there. If you had an idea that, again, you felt like someone, I won't use the word stole it from you, but they took it and you felt like, that was my idea. Guess what? There is more there. The hope and the vision that you had to start your own real estate business, because remember, I always tell you guys that you're operating a real estate business, to become an entrepreneur, become the master of your own fate, to write your own ticket. There is more there. There is more there. You're not running out of time. You're not running out of energy. You're not running out of resources. I promise you, abundance is there. There is more there. Okay. So what about even deals that you've done, contacts that you made? Go back to those contacts. People know people, and there is more there. You got a listing? Go back in that community. Let other homeowners know that there's, that you just placed this particular home on the market. There's more there. So we want to, in this day, I want the mindset shift for the community this morning to be that of abundance, to be that of there's more there. There are more opportunities. There are more options for sellers. There are more options for buyers. There's more resources to get my buyers to the closing table. I just need to take the actions to go get it. But there is more there. Okay. So tell yourself, there's more there. There's more knowledge that I can acquire. There's more. A lot of people are feeling tired. I have more energy. There's more there. If I did it before, I can do it again. There is more there. Okay. Next slide, Jay. So with that being said, here's the market update. When we coming from this place of there is more there, I want you to tap in, go ahead, Jay, to loan programs. The more and more I have one-on-one calls with realtors, I realize that there are more and more loan programs, or there are more and more realtors that are unaware of the various loans programs. And so, of course, I know many of you have relationships with lenders or loan officers, and you rely on them to tell you or give you all the loan programs that are available. But can I tell you guys, there are so many loan programs out there that I know for sure, for whatever reason, they're not being promoted, they're not being shared, and the realtors, unfortunately, don't realize that there's more there, right? Again, there's more there. There's more loan programs there. And so we've been having a lot of conversations about different loan programs that in a, I guess you would say, a more consumer or what we call it, primary residence purchaser market. You don't hear about these loan programs. They've always been out there. And there's also new loan programs. But like right now, what did I tell you guys? Tap into your buyers, your homeowners that have equity, and they can now purchase investment properties through investment loans, right? You have some homeowners who should probably tap into their home equity so that they can make investments. So now more than ever, reminding you guys that it is imperative to become an advisor, not an order taker. There's a difference between an order taker, someone come telling you, okay, this is what I want. Go find me a house in this community, this bed and bath mix, these amenities, and I want this loan program. And you say, well, actually, here's another community that you probably should consider. Additionally, here are some other loan programs that are available for you. And I know you probably only heard of these loan programs, but here are some other loan programs that are available for you. That is becoming an advisor, right? There's more there. Now, with that being said, I wanted Jessica to bring you guys a loan program that I know many of you guys probably don't know about, for sure. That is a game changer for small builders as well as you guys, because you're finding that you need to go after new construction versus resale. So with that being said, for your deep dive, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Jessica Taylor Story to give us our deep dive for the day. Take it away, Jay.
Yay! Thank you so much, Nicole. I'm so excited to present this information to you. So it is the one-time construction close. So this definitely, it doesn't only benefit the builders, but also makes life easier for the borrowers. And that's what this is. But keep in mind that this is for non-tract homes. So this is not for the big builders. This is for your local builders. I can name a few. I'm up in the Port St. Lucie area. So, like the Grandes, the Green Energy, people like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I'm gonna put you through a scenario. So imagine you're a builder with a vision, ready to turn a bare piece of land into your client's dream home. But there's always hurdles, right? There's always been some hurdles. You have to front the construction costs, and then only after the house is complete will you be able to sell it to the borrower. That's a lot of money. That's building a house like this, like with one hand tied behind your back, because you have so much money tied up into building the actual house, right? And that's how sometimes you'll get stuck just building one house, selling it, another house, selling it at a time, right? Well, that's where this construction one-time loan comes in. So with this solution, builders no longer have to pay for the construction costs up front, and you can help to create your borrower's dream home and secure the loan before the construction even begins. It not only saves time, but puts, puts money back in the borrower's pocket by allowing the borrower to close one time and have one set of closing costs, okay? But that's not all. Our lenders, they also have a process that includes a contractor approval component. So let's say, for example, we use that new, smaller builder. We put them through an approval process. We vet the contractor. We check their references, make sure that they're credible builders. And that adds an extra layer of due diligence, which gives peace of mind to your borrower, your client, and knowing that they've chosen a very reliable option for their product, or their project, sorry. What's even better than that is once after the initial approval for your borrower, the borrower is good to go from then on. Okay, there's no need for them to go through the approval process again and again and again. Okay, so we truly streamline that path. Okay. Now, what is a one-time new construction loan? So what it is, it's a single closing construction loan. The construction part provides a short-term financing, which seamlessly transitions into permanent financing. So by a quick show of hands, who've heard of like construction of perm loans? Construction of perm. Yep. Basically, this is what that is, that single streamline, one single closing, okay? So this provides short-term financing, which transitions into the permanent financing upon the project completion. Okay, so this also can be done as a purchase or a refinance as well. Okay. So essentially, a single closing loan combines financing for both the construction and the regular permanent mortgage into one. So there's no more navigating between this side and the other side and figuring out the timelines of each. No, this is all just one loan all together in one, okay? So let's go ahead and move forward. And closing costs, let me finish reading that. The closing costs and the fees the borrower is responsible for are collected at closing, and then the funds are accessed through draws, like the builder can draw from those funds, okay? Are there any questions up until then? Anything in the chat? No?
Nothing in the chat yet.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the purchase loan. So the loan is perfect for borrowers who aren't in the current situation let me start that over, sorry. So the loan is perfect for borrowers who aren't the current owners of the lot where their dream home will stand, okay? They will use the funds to purchase both the lot and to fund the construction. So next, the loan amount includes the sum of the lot sale price and the cost to construct the property minus the down payment. Okay, hope everybody understands that. Because it's a lot of information all in one, but I hope that I explained this correctly for you all. So lastly, in conclusion, it's definitely a game changer in the world of construction and real estate. It simplifies the process and provides peace of mind to both the builders and the borrowers, knowing that we have vetted the builders. And the next steps, if you are working with a client who fits this criteria, just have them contact us. Send them over to us. We'll get them vetted. We'll get them started on the right process. And if you have any questions, again, just send us an email, give us a call, and we'll be right here for you. Okay, thank you.
All right. Put some fire in the chat for Jessica. During her first Monday, her first Monday sales huddle. Listen, I want to make sure that, good, Shanice said, all so far so good. Reiterate, you guys know I always say, here's what you should do next with this. Guys, listen. How many of your buyers want to go new construction? Because it's a new house, right? They're like, and it gives them the opportunity to basically design and build a house to their liking. It's built to suit. But sometimes it's a challenge for them to, maybe D.R. Horton isn't the way for them, or Toll Brothers or Lennar, all those other different ones. Understand, many of you are already, and this is a hot topic specifically even for Jessica, because Jessica is in Port St. Lucie. So this is what's going on in her backyard. This is what's going on in her backyard. And it's been going on for a very long time. The smaller builders, if you drive up to Port St. Lucie, how many times do you guys see just individual lots with smaller builders? This is who this loan is speaking to. This is who this loan is speaking to. You can go to these small builders and say, hey, I have a buyer that's going to do what we call a one-time construction loan close. They're going to close today before you even put the shovel in the ground. And the cost to build this home is going to be given to you in draws so that by the time you close, you're paid in full. Do you guys understand that the inverse of that is Lennar and Toll Brothers? They build that house hoping that by the time they get to delivery, that buyer is still qualified. Worst case scenario for them is, they have to just take an escrow deposit because the buyer, for whatever reason, the deal fell out. How many of you can now grab buyers and say, hey, if they already own land, this loan will finance the acquisition of the land, the lot, and the construction, right? The lot and the construction. So this is huge. This is how we are creating inventory. I know many buyers would love for their first home, their next home, to be a brand spanking new home that no one else has lived in, right? And they get to pick out all the fixes and finishes, okay? So thanks so much, Jay, for presenting that. We'll make sure to put the content, the handout in the Facebook community for that, for more details on that. What percentage or amount needed for down payment? This is a traditional loan, so they're going to be looking at the same requirements as if they had gone through, any other, what do you call it? Word, conventional. I got so much terminology in my head. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yep. So Marissa dropped in the chat that a lot of your large builders have lot premiums, which obviously the smaller builders, they're likely not gonna do a lot premium because they don't have that leverage, right? They are happy to get someone that's bringing them the money to build their home. Like, this is huge. Also, when you talk about interest rates, and we'll hit this really lightly, yes, they're going to lock in at today's interest rates, but they still get the benefit of, if interest rates go down, we will float them down to the new interest rate, a lower interest rate. And then also, they still also have the same opportunity to, what do we say? Marry the house, date the rate. They have the same opportunity to close. And then if interest rates are lower, once the home is delivered, reposition the interest rate. But they built a home that they love. They didn't settle for a house. They built a house that they love today in today's market. Okay, I'm excited. Anyway, let me help. Like, so excited. I'm envisioning if I were in this position, you know, to build a house that I love. All right. Anywho, Monique, go ahead. You have your hands up.
Yeah, so can they build, does it have to be a single family home, or would they be able to do like a duplex or a triplex? If the property is on, or has to only be single family home? Okay.
Single family. But that's a very good question. And then the financing, again, it's in draws. So just like if they were, you guys kind of become project managers. No, you don't have to do it, but the financing for the purchase is delivered to the builder, to the contractor in draws. Like, that's huge to not have to front your own money. But anyway, all right. So with that being said, become an advisor. Jay, we're going to make sure that Jessica's going to make sure, along with Jay, that we get a handout to you guys. It's going to be sent out for you to glean more information. And again, many of you are driving to Port St. Lucie anyway. If the builder doesn't own the lot, great question, Richard. If the builder doesn't own the lot, the buyer can purchase the lot. Well, here's the buyer. Patty's question is a very good question. She said, how is the buyer protected if the builder defaults midway? Well, the builder is not paid. So they have a vested interest in completing the job, right? They're not paid. They're only paid as portions of the job are completed, right? And so if they don't complete the job, they're just not paid. Go ahead, Monique. And also, just to be clear, we don't, because this call is short, like if you guys see the checklist to vet the builders, it's barring some type of, hugely unforeseen circumstance. These are not builders that are likely to default, again, because they go through a very stringent approval process. And then that money is not giving to them, that the full purchase price is not given to them up front. It's giving to them incrementally as portions of the work is completed. Go ahead, Monique.
Shucks. What was my question? Okay, what does the process look like in terms of, okay, now we find them a lot. Obviously, we will be drafting the contract with the seller for them to just purchase the lot, right? But what does that process then look like in terms of, like, if their approval is, let's say, $350,000, they get the lot, I don't know, $100,000, because in Port St. Lucie, I know they're running for around that price, 120. They get the lot. How does the next process look in terms of like pricing, making sure if the lot is not cleared out, they have to account for that to pay the builder for that, and then also the building materials, and like, how does that process look?
Jay, you want to go, or?
Yeah, so that part, that's going to be on the builder. So we as realtors and we as lenders don't dive into that. So let's say, for example, you find a builder up here, the builder is going to have their spreadsheet. Okay, so they're going to say, you found a lot, this lot costs $50,000. Now our costs are $10,000 for clearing, $15,000 for building prep, and then I don't know, $250,000 to actually build the house. So the grand total will be whatever that total is that I just said. So let's say $350,000 was that grand total, but that's everything wrapped up into one. So that's why this is a one-time close, because you have the lot that is that $100,000, right? Then you have their build price, which is $250,000, but that includes everything that they have to do with the lot. So it's nothing. I mean, yeah, there'll be line items, but it's all going to be all in one. So you don't even have to dive into that as the realtor. That's going to be on the builder to say, hey, this is what we charge for this. This is what we charge for that. This is what we charge for this. Here's the grand total. And that grand total is going to be that loan amount.
So I'm just thinking in terms of, I guess, like due diligence, right? So it would be more ideal for the buyer to have their contractor obviously in place and having that consultation with them so that they know, hey, if this is my approval amount, it's going to cost this much to build, so that we as the realtor know what price range we're looking at for them to purchase the lot in order for them to still stay within their approval amount. That's
It's still going to have to be opposite. So you're going to have to come to us first so we can, you know, put them through the pre-approval process so we can see how much they will qualify for. Like if they qualify for $350,000, that's great. Now you go to the builder and you say, hey, builder, I found this lot over here for 75,000. And I see that you have model A available that you can build it for 250,000. Oh, that's in my budget. So I want that one. Can you make it happen within my budget? So no matter what, you're always going to come to us first to see how much that they're going to qualify for.
Right.
Does that
yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, that part I know. I got it. Got it. You did answer the question. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
So there's a question in the chat. If the buyer's credit changes in the 9 months the house is being built, how is that handled? Is it moot because the closing already happened at the beginning? Correct. It's a one-time close. So one-time close. So they would have qualified and they start making nominal payments during that period. But then they start making full loan payments once the home is delivered. So that's the idea. Definitely that's the whole idea behind the one-time close. You've done the qualification at the closing, at that first closing. That's why they call it a one-time close. All right.
And I see another question in the chat. What if the builder doesn't own the lot? That's exactly what this is. If they don't own the lot, you want the builder to not own the lot. But if they do own the lot, they're probably, you know, tying it all up anyways. And this loan type, this loan product probably wouldn't be for that. This person could probably just get like a regular conventional loan. But yeah, this is if somebody, if the builder doesn't own a lot and the owner, the borrower already knows that they want to build on that lot, that's what this is for.
And then you also have the small owners too. Like Jessica mentioned at the very beginning, we go in. So prime example, small builder, not track homes, say they build, I don't know, let's say 12 homes per month. But again, our office becomes their in-house lender because we can finance these buyers up front and my builder client doesn't have to front this money, right? So that's how you want to look at it. It's just like you're going to your DR Horton and Lennar, but you're coming from a different posture. You could even arguably negotiate for a better price because look at this as your buyer essentially being a cash buyer. When you make an offer and you make a cash offer, you negotiate a little bit differently, right? Because this is a sure close. So for the small builder, this is a sure close for them. In addition to, they're not fronting their own money. Your buyer is bringing them the money to complete their construction as they go through the process. So I would hope we're having a different conversation, right? We're not, let's say their asking price, like Jessica said, for model A is $350. And you say, well, this is essentially a cash deal. What about $330, $325? Because you don't have the carrying cost, Mr. Builder. So now we're really functioning as an advisor for our clients. Make sense? See how there's more there, right? All right, so we are 1 minute out from 10:30, looks good. Just a reminder, this Thursday, for those of you that are a member of RAPB, the Realtor Association of Broward, Palm Beaches, and Port St. Lucie, in St. Lucie County, it is the 3 CE FAR Bar Residential As-Is Contract Review course. That's going to be this Thursday from 12 to 3. You'll sign up on the board's website. And what else we got, Jay? That is the schedule for the remainder of for October, actually. October, we are shifting into mastering buyer and broker dynamics. We're doing a series on working with buyers. That includes, number one, the first thing we're kicking off with is making sure that you guys are discussing and getting your buyer brokerage agreement executed during your consultation. If you don't know, you should absolutely know that there is a lot of litigation going on right now about the buyer's agent commission, right? You guys know that. You know that there's a lot of litigation going around about, the proper disclosure of the fact that of how the buyer's agent is being paid, whether or not the buyer has agreed to pay it, and so on and so forth. Well, we have a document out there to ensure that you guys are covered with your buyer's agent commission. So that's part one. Part two is going over preparing a strong offer. 3 is working with the transaction coordinator. Again, just some high points, some do's and don'ts, right? Not just throw the deal at them and run away and think that's just it, right? You're still the realtor on the deal, but also on the flip side of that, let them do their thing. You go get the next deal. Don't worry about the administrative part of it, right? That's part 3. And then part 4 is protect the escrow deposit. Protect the escrow deposit. We had this discussion some weeks ago in our Monday sales huddle. On this Thursday, this is going to be a deeper dive into that topic of protecting the escrow deposit, so you guys don't have that issue. And then the preparing for a smoother closing experience, that's actually going to push forward because the 31st is not a Thursday. The 2nd is a Thursday. So I just noticed that. So that's an update to that. All right, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Xperts University YouTube page, because again, these recordings are posted there and in our Facebook community. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to Jessica. And we'll be sending a follow-up email with the 1-pager on the one-time close program. All right. Thank you, Gina. Good to see everybody. Go get some new money. All right. We'll see you guys at the closing table. Bye.